On you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cream City Curveball. I'm your man, Justin from North Carolina.
And pipe in the good land.
Yeah, man, I decided, man, doing this show with Pipe, we didn't have the views that we should have had on the last show. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this pink shirt on because this is Pipe's favorite color. So we rocking the pink Brewers shirt today, live in full effect, after one great Chicago Cubs games and two games that I'd rather look for worms in cat fecal than watch that garbage that was out there. I don't understand it, bro. Let's start with game one. Did we recap? We did recap. Let's just start with game two. Let's just go to game two. They're not gonna give you the whole rundown of the recap and all that other BS. Cause like, look, I'm still upset, man. I'm pissed off. Harrison pitched good enough to win that baseball game. Chad Patrick came in and he was Chad something else because it wasn't Patrick. That's not the guy we expect to see. But more importantly, Pike, everyone wants the easy one. Game two, game three, blame the relievers, blame the pitching. Da-da-da-da-da. No, it's the bats. We did not hit. We barely hit game one. We didn't hit at all game two. And game three was left to be desired. But let's let you run down game two first. Give me your thoughts on game two. And we'll kind of piece this joint together. And wherever you're watching, just bear with us because I'm sure he's pissed. I know I'm pissed. So we'll probably zigzag all over the place. But take it away, Pipe.
Yeah, game two straight sucked. Harrison pitched good enough to win. When your bullpen allows 6 runs, 4 of them by Chad Patrick, a saint no more. The saint has fallen. It ain't St. Patrick's Day anymore when you see him coming out of the pen. Now all of a sudden it's fingernail biting time. But yeah, I agree with you. It was on the offense. 2 runs. Come on, man. What are we doing? RISP was terrible the entire weekend long. It just sucked, man. And then the bullpen let it get away. It was a close game for a while. It was a good game till it wasn't. And then the bullpen got lit up. And the game ended up looking like your shirt. Ugly. Just straight ugly.
Whatever. Hey, we got to keep it 100 on this show because we sing my boys' praises. Grant struggling a little bit right now. Chad Patrick struggling right now. Aaron Ashby struggling right now. And I'm tired of these BS excuses. Guys are overworked. Aaron Ashby is a hell of a pitcher and he needs a pitch like it. Chad Patrick, hell of a pitcher, needs a pitch like it. Grant Anderson, you can do better too. And this isn't like we're sitting here. We're not banging on these guys saying they're terrible baseball players. Grant has set the bar so high. Chad has set it even higher. And Ashby has it. The bar isn't even on earth right now. And then you come in with this lackadaisical stuff. You let these Cubs hitters do it. We got a bunch of guys not throwing strikes. How many times are we going to let a walk kill us? I swear, it's so frustrating. Every time a guy walks to first base, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he scores. And it's like a 3-run home run right after it or something like that. Then you get a guy who will get a double, and we can strand that brother at second base all day. It just doesn't make sense. The math isn't mathing. I'm so frustrated, but I'm even more frustrated with Bryce Terang. Stop swinging at the pitch at your beard line. Like, what are we doing here? Those are mustache pitches. You have to lay off of it. Cooper Pratt, you have to lay off the high fastball. You're not going to hit it. And Garrett Mitchell even, and I know he's hit a couple home runs and all that, but the likelihood of you hitting a lot of those pitches, the percentage is way low. Get something in the zone that you can drive. Vogie, get on these guys. Swing when the ball's, the box we see on TV, Pipe? That little box? That's where you're supposed to swing, right?
That's what I was always told. Terang's struggling now, and yeah, he's swinging at balls over his head. His average has dipped all the way down to 254, and that ain't good. So, we saw a hell of a lot better out of him. The guy was on fire, setting the world on fire the first part of the season. He needs to get back to doing that again. Like you said, being a hell of a lot more selective. There's a whole lot of dudes that, I thought this was kind of an anomaly, this game, until yesterday's game. and then it turned out to just be a foreshadow. But so yeah, the offense is driving me nuts too, man. Some of these numbers are they're getting ugly again, and this is not something that we had. But Mitchell, he's under 250. Sanchez, he's under 2.25. It just, it's what are we doing, man? Swing the bat or bring somebody up. Yeah, you could talk about Cooper Pratt and all that. He still has given 1,000 times more than Renhefo did when he was here. Let's run it back. Do it again. Bring up another one. Bring up 2 more. Let's shake it up, man, because we've seen the same crap all the time. Yes, their record is amazing, and all that, and they're in a fight for the number 1 seed in the National League. They're doing great, but come on, man, it's like listening to a broken record or a CD that skips. We've seen this before. Fix it and move on, man. Do something. So, hopefully Murphy and Arnold can, hopefully Murphy goes to Arnold and says, hey, bro, I think that we need to do something like this. Let's sit there and let's bring up 1 or 2 dudes, shake up the clubhouse a little bit and see if that lights a fire under the rest of these dudes.
Man, we got someone doing some espionage or something, man. They just knocked me all off. And I guess it's because I finally said something negative. But you're absolutely right. And this is the thing, man. Like, again, the only reason why we are criticizing or complaining is because every one of these jokers we've mentioned have shown us better. My question for you is that I was going to get to. So it seems that when you look at Bryce swinging at pitches that he's swinging, Pratt, Joey Ortiz, Sanchez, Jake Bowers, Jackson Churio, William Contreras, Christian Yelich. When you're looking at all these folks swinging at pitches like this and pressing, why are we pressing 20 games above 500? We should be playing loose and free. You should not have a care in the world. The Chicago Cubs should have been the one gripping the bat like this. But it was us. And help me understand why.
I can't, because you're 100% right. When you're 100 games over 500, every single one of those dudes should be walking around not only the clubhouse, but just down the street on a regular Monday afternoon with nothing but BDE. If you know, you know. Because you guys are red hot, you're tearing it up, you're playing great baseball. Everybody should have BDE. And instead they're pressing or looking straight foolish at the plate. I get, sometimes a pitcher's on and, you're made to look foolish. You corkscrew yourself a little bit. Sometimes you swing and miss and fall down. That stuff happens, and it is what it is. Will we make fun of it? Yeah, but we're assholes like that. But, most normal people wouldn't. They would be a hell of a lot more understanding. But, you walk around. Where did that energy go? Where is the BDE? Get back to that, man. You guys are way too good to be pressing, be struggling. It should all just be free and loose, man. That's how they got to be. That's how they got to get back to playing.
And just remember, that's little brother from the South. They're the ones that are looking up to us. I could go pull that pennant off my wall. It says back to back to back division champions. We don't miss the playoffs. And the one time we do, so it's a fluky and but that's where you really got to value a guy like Pat Murphy, right? Murph's going to calm these dudes down. Hey, look, dude, we sucked. We stunk it up. If it's in the terms of golf, we had a couple bad holes. Basketball, you had a couple bad ill-advised shots. Football, your quarterback just wasn't on the mark, and you go back and you play the next week or to play the next game or whatever the case is. And that's why tonight, we'll get to tonight and going forward against the Cincinnati Reds. Let's move on over to Game 3, Mr. Pipe Bomb, as my grandson would call you, Mr. Pipe Bomb. So Game 3, man, the legend, best post-game show ever. After the last pitch, make the switch, Timmy Allen. He had a great take on this, and I think we need to salute to him or anybody else. And one thing you're going to catch with Cream City Curveball, we're not the smartest guys in the room. We listen to all of you guys, whether it's pick a station in Wisconsin, pick a national station. And if we hear something good, he'll pull it from there. I'll pull it for that. We'll give you your credit, and then we'll talk about it. So let's talk about Tim's before we get to anything else. Yeah, well, Yeah, because I got some other stuff earlier on in the game, but let's stick to the main thing. Let's keep the main thing, my brother. Tim said Gary Sanchez and Jake Bauers were selfish. You had Garrett Mitchell walk with the bases loaded to make it a 4-3 baseball game. Jake Bauers comes up after the guy throws a walk, swings at the first pitch, fouls out. And then Gary Sanchez swings at the second pitch that was probably a ball, and then eventually grounds into a double play. We had bases loaded, down one, no outs. After, what's the pitcher's name? I never say his name right because he
Kunal.
gives up a bajillion runs in the top. You come back to, hell, Brewers should have won that baseball game. Point blank, period. I'll even give you game two as a redo. Game three, there's no excuses. And I'm pretty sure that's why Pat Murphy didn't talk to the media afterwards, because he was livid the way that I was livid, the way that you were livid. I was throwing these things at my grandson. I was throwing these things at the neighbors. I was throwing these things anywhere I could throw them. I'm still mad, Pipe. But what do you think? Is Bauer selfish for that approach? Is Sanchez selfish? Is it just a BS approach? To me, it's just stupid baseball. Go ahead. I'm upset.
Yeah, it's selfish, especially from Bowers. You got to sit there and take some pitches. The guy walked the dude in front of you, bases still juiced, you're still losing in extras. You got to see some pitches, man. You got to make the dude work. You got to make the dude earn it. You go up, unless it is an absolute cookie right down Main Street, you got to sit there and take it. And, with the way that Bowers has been hitting, if you're hitting like Bryce Terang now, I say you stand up there and look at him until you get 2 strikes on you. Then the at-bat starts. But you got to let the guy get himself in trouble. They didn't do that. It was selfish. It's another one of those things where if Bowers would have knocked it out, would have sat there and roped a double down the line, oh, yeah, he wasn't waiting. He was in attack mode, and everybody be screaming and cheering how great it was and all that. The only difference is I know Tim. I've been friends with him for at least a decade, and, I know that if I was in the studio and we were watching it, together, that he would have said that was selfish. The second it happened, he would have been screaming when he was walking up to the plate, take a couple pitches and all that. So I know he ain't bullshitting, but the rest of y'all, I don't know. But it's one of those things. Like I said, if it works out, he looks like a hero. It didn't, so he looks crappy. But yeah, it was a selfish move. You gotta, like I said, you gotta let the pitcher get himself in trouble. Quit making this stuff harder on yourself than you have to.
What about Gary Sanchez? What's your take on that one?
Well, Sanchez is tough, man, because, is he having a good year? Probably. For a backup catcher, he's got that power. He can sit there and he launches one just when you sit there and you're like, man, I'm kind of tired of this old dude. Boom, it's gone. And then it's like, well, I kind of like me, Gary, until he gets on base. When it's not a home run and he's like driving a hover round and he's slower than me. That's a problem. But, I would say overall he's having a good season. So, his average isn't there. His average sucks. But he's still got that pop. It's hard to sit there and for me to second guess a veteran like that. Been in that situation a bajillion times and all that, and I haven't. So for me to, critique on him too bad, would kind of make me look like an ass. But I will. He should have taken another pitch or two.
Yeah, especially the first or second one in the at-bat. Look, but I'm 100% them people you're talking about. That Bowers had roped it down the line, he had even got a sac fly, and Gary got a sac fly, both swinging at the first pitches, and we win the baseball game. I don't care. But, I think that's the great thing about where Milwaukee Brewers baseball has come to. Now we can sit here and get pissed off at stuff like that. And we're not playing horseshoes. We're not playing this stuff just to get close. We got to win the damn game. Let's rewind back a little bit earlier in this baseball game when it should have been over. You got Andrew Vaughn, who may be a step or two faster than Gary Sanchez, legging it out for a triple, third base, no outs, and we don't get him in. That was a telltale story of this entire gosh darn series, bro. You got guys on third base, guys on second and third, bases loaded, less than 2 outs, and we're not executing getting guys home. And that's usually the difference between Pat Murphy and a team managed by anybody else, including him, Greg.
Yeah, I agree. That's what's so weird about baseball, man, is, growing up and stuff, it was get him on, get him over, get him in. You got a dude, especially like you said, whose 40 time is about 27 minutes, gets a triple, standing there with no out, and no one can even throw a ball deep enough in the outfield to bring him in. Really? That's where we're at? It's kind of embarrassing. And, we used to see it all the time back in the day when we were growing up watching ball. You needed a sac fly, they got a sac fly. I know these guys are throwing harder, and take Miz out of the equation. The average pitcher now, fastball, probably 96, 97. These guys should be used to it. This isn't a rare thing getting in the box, seeing Nolan Ryan going up against Randy Johnson for the first or 18th time. This is something you see on a night in, night out basis. Not only that, you got the pitching machines. You can crank that sucker up. I want to see 99.2. Boom. It's coming right at you. 25 pitches in a row. You know the speed that is coming. How are you not able to get under it and launch that sucker deep enough to score a run? It can't be that hard. But they make it look harder than hell. I don't understand it, man. It's different. It's different.
I mean, the other thing about it, though, Pipe, and what you're mentioning is we're talking about just put balls in play competitively. Even if it's a ground out to the third baseman, the first baseman, second baseman, or something, make those guys make a play on the ball. We're talking about foul outs, strikeouts, and weak pop-ups to the second baseman, third baseman, etc. We just can't have that stuff. And everybody that touches that field, including Ortiz or anybody on this roster, should be good enough to connect with a baseball to drive a run home with a guy on third base with no outs. It's inexcusable. Pat Murphy, I know he demands more than that. And everyone deserves more than that. You do, I do, Tim Allen does, Bob Uecker in heaven does, Grindle. Pick your guy, man. It's so frustrating, man. Lack of execution. That's why we lost the series. Still 5.5 up. And now we're coming into a series tonight with the Cincinnati Reds. Just went down to their place with god-awful chili with sugar in it and swept the sugar out of their chili and made it regular chili. And we bring them up here to AmFam. And it's enough of this reeling and stuff like that. Let's put our foot on somebody's neck. Let's send a message tonight. And let's show why we are the Milwaukee Brewers and the leaders of this division with the best pitchers and the best hitters. Gas, man, give them all the gas tonight, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. My last thoughts on the Cubs series, you did the bare minimum that you had to do. You took one. So you dropped one game, you let the Cubs get one game closer in the standings. That's it. But it was like the Atlanta series. You take 1 of 3, you should have swept. And, game 2, whatever, bullpen, pissed all down their leg in that one, that, here or there. But, that stuff happens. But you definitely should have won the series. But at the end of the day, you only lose one game. Cincinnati, yeah, man, you just got done whooping up on them. And I don't see any reason why it can't continue. My only thing is that you sat there, and again, you kind of moved around the pitchers. You threw your 3 best against the scrubs, and you only won 1. Now you got Gasser. You're going to have Sproat. You're going to throw Miz in game 4, but you only got one of your top dudes in a 4-game set against a division opponent. I understand that, where the Cubs are in the standings, being in a far distant second place, you can barely see them, but they're still in second. Why you would want to load up on your dudes for that series instead of a team that's way far back and has nasty ass chili. But it's still weird because it's still 7 games against division opponents. You got to win. The Brewers aren't throwing their best dudes. You got one of the top 3 in the whole 4-game set, but it doesn't matter. If you had a real shirt on, maybe the Brewers would think about starting you. But, you should be able to go out there on a mound and start, and this team should still win 3 out of the 4 games.
Curveballs. Oh man, the real shirt is crazy. So look, man, like I'm so frustrated. I don't have anything else on this red. I can't give you a big pump talk and all that stuff, man. I can't poke my chest out. Which is crazy. We're 19 games, 18 games above 500. I can't do it. I need to see this execution tonight. I need to see the small things, the attention to detail, because they're a much better baseball team in this pipe, and it's inexcusable. We got to see it. Murphy has to be closer to getting back to the joint. When I get on this flight in a little bit, I'm going to have my Murphy's Pocket Pancake shirt on. Maybe I should wear the pink shirt. I'm sure the Philadelphians will love the pink shirt as they're beating up on our Pirates. But, man, we got to get to this ranking stuff unless you got something else on the Reds game, man.
No, man, I don't care about that stupid team. They're irrelevant every season.
Their managers are relevant, too. All right.
He's one of the best, for sure.
Top 22 of the league right now.
Oh, the disrespect.
Hey man, I'm just saying that dude ain't been good for 20 years, but we'll let him have it.
He's awesome. Tito's awesome.
04, he was a man. You know what he is, bro? Never mind, we're not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna do it to you because I'm just not. I'm not gonna mention any Milwaukee Bucks talk. I'm not.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you when we get off the air. Because it's a firestorm. It's stepping in the red anthill.
All right. What are we ranking?
So I thought we said last time we would rank our top. We go top 3, top 5, whatever number you're feeling, defunct restaurants in the Milwaukee, Chicagoland area. We'll go Milwaukee and Chicago because, you grew up in Chicago. There's some stuff that you ate on and stuff like that. And I say we do it like this so I don't take all yours, you don't take all mine. Let's just go one for one. Just bang, bang, bang. No pause.
All right. There was a place I went to as a kid called Ground Round. It was one of them peanut on the floor places that I used to love when I was a kid. Man, you take me to any place that was peanut on the floor. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And, being a very round individual as a young lad, I would eat those suckers like crazy. And, that was always a lot of fun. So I miss that one.
Ground Round, that's epic. That's great. I'm going to give you one from Chicago first. Was it Pepe's?
Oh, yeah.
Mexican joint?
Yeah.
Man, that used to be some good eating right there, man. I don't know if my pescatarian stomach could handle it even if it was still alive anymore. But I tell you what, bro. I would go there and I would kill. Those were manual injections of insulin back in the day. Shout out to all the type 1s. Type 2s, we love you too. But that was quite a bit of insulin going on for the chips and queso and the 6 tacos. And then you know what it is, man. After your blood sugar goes up to 285, 385, sometimes 485, depending on how much kitty cocktails or Shirley Temples you had. Boy, diabetes management used to be way different at 14 than it is at 44, right? But you know what it is, bro. It's a nap afterwards, man.
Yeah, you got that right, man. Good call on the Pepe's. For me, it's a place, and I'm sure no one else has ever been there, but it was this place called Old Town West, and town had an E on it. And it was in Forest Park, Illinois. They had the best deep dish Chicago-style pizza. Oh, man, you get that sucker with pepperoni, and you go to lift up the slice, and it was just cheese just dragging. You could throw that thing a mile in the air, and there's still cheese attached to it. Oh, it was so damn good. I could eat. Oh. 2 pieces about all you could do, but oh yeah, man, they were great. And then the next 4 days, finishing the rest of it was amazing too.
So I could go Mexican again. Yeah, let me stick right in Mexican first. Let me go Chi-Chi's. You ever been to Chi-Chi's?
Mm-hmm. That was kind of close to Pepe's.
Yeah, so we could just keep it in the whole Mexican family to start this joint out. But Chi-Chi's, I used to go on the times with moms. We'd go out to Chi-Chi's. I always wonder, like, Ma, why is your juice green So I realized those were margaritas. Margaritas. But Chi-Chi's was amazing, man, especially as a little kid, man. Ground Round was epic by you, too, by the way, man.
Yeah, no, I like Chi-Chi's and Pepe's. I like Pepe's greater sign Chi-Chi's, but like I said, it was pretty close. Last one I got a place called Eduardo's, and they had pizza too, but they had, it was Italian, good Italian. Lasagna was awesome. Ziti was awesome. Lots of good eats there. I definitely blame them for probably, 300 or 400 of the pounds I carry around every day due to them. And yeah, that was good stuff for a fat boy.
I got a few more, man, because I haven't even got to the wild cards yet. But I'm going to go the Chancery. That's still open?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, man, that's another spot where me and moms would go for the mother-son times, man. Me and Pops would go there sometimes, too, man. My dentist was down there on Firewell, so we would go down on Firewell. He'd shoot up my mouth because, I was back there like we were talking about on the previous episode, eating all the candy we were supposed to, right? And then you'd have to go eat Chancery, and no matter what, even if your taste buds were gone from whatever, they were there. Another joint, my joint. And they got them somewhere in the state, some parts of the states. Like I've seen a couple in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area and stuff like that. Bud Ruckers.
Yeah.
Those some great
burgers. Good burgers there. You got to top them yourself. All that kind of stuff. That was a hell of a lot of fun going there as a kid, man.
I used to be one of those weird kids that would walk in and eat the pickles before I even got to the burgers and stuff like that, bro. Like, I was just out of pocket, man.
Nothing wrong with that. As long as they're dill a lot better than the sweet.
There used to be a spot. I don't know. Hopefully one of our fans will get us in the comments. I was a little kid. We would go up on the Fond du Lac right before the freeway, right before Fond du Lac Avenue turned into 145. You could take it all the way up to Oshkosh and stuff like that. There used to be a little restaurant with twin drive-thrus. It wasn't Checkers or anything like that. It was a green and white restaurant. Can't remember the name of it. Moms would always stop there. Got to go Perkins. That was one of your spots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Whether it was 6 a.m. or 3 a.m., those omelets and hash browns, they hit right. So, yeah, I like that place a lot.
I'm trying to think of some more, man. I had some on the tip of my tongue. So I got a spot for you, man. This is for all of my Milwaukee Rufus King people, or people that lived in the Rufus King neighborhood, Pipe. And I hate that I didn't know you then to get you to this spot. But it was called Lyle's Sandwich Shop. Small hole-in-the-wall joint, Green Bay Avenue in Olive, man. I remember my granddad, man, when I was a little kid, about 5, 6 years old, he started getting me there, go there to get cheeseburgers. You have the brother Ed by the grill. Sometimes he had the beard down to here before it was cool to ZZ Top. Sometimes you get a little extra seasoning. I'm talking about his gray hairs in the food, man. But it was so good, Pipe. It was so greasy. Probably a reason why I'm a pescatarian now. There's a spot downtown Old Third called Luke's. I just used to like it. The food probably sucked. But I probably liked it as a kid because I could go there and play Pop-A-Shot, and they had all the games on and stuff like that. What about Fridays? Are those gone? We don't have any TGI Fridays here in the South, bro.
If they're not gone, they're real damn close to being gone. And speaking of a place called Damon's.
Yes. Yes.
I used to go there. That was a good sports bar before the whole B-Dub explosion and all that, and B-Dub really kind of took their spot. But if I was out of town or something and I had to go catch a game, man, I'd find the closest Damon's and go there.
So I used to have one out in Mequon, man. I never forget it, man. I took my granddad there for Father's Day and my uncle, and we went in there. You know who's sitting in the back booth?
Who's that?
Glenn Big Dog Robinson. This is like 95. I don't know where my granddad's hat was. He had one of the old school throwback purple and green Bucks hats and Big Dog signed the top of it for him, man. And he never wore it. He kept it on his little shelf in the den, man. So that was pretty cool stuff, man. But look, man, we could talk about this until the Brewers game ends. So what we want you to do that, our fans and our followers and our friends, because we don't have fans, we have friends. You're all our friends. We want you to put your comments on YouTube. tweet at us. What's your Twitter handle, Pike?
Jeff_Orlowski. And
And my,
yours?
at Rated R Noop 414. Let us know what you think. Let us know those restaurants you're missing. I don't care if you're in Seattle, Washington, Boise, Montana, Boise, Idaho. Sorry, Lord have mercy.
Whatever.
Them two.
There might be a Boise, Montana somewhere.
Atlanta,
what?
Georgia, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Let us know what you're missing. That was a great one, Pipe. I don't know if we're gonna be able to come back from that one, man.
Oh yeah, we can. Let us know what list you want next time. But Justin, what music you been listening to lately? Give the people something to listen to.
You really gonna ask me that? Like, I feel like
Yeah,
you
why
set me
not?
up now. I've been listening to that new Future.
Okay, that's the name. Is that like a group? New Future?
No, Future is a rapper. I think he's one of the he's not one of these dudes that's gonna be like your big lyricist. He's not Jay-Z. He's not telling all your stories, but he's gonna say the things that we're not supposed to say to women and to people. And it's funny, like he'll say, "Hey, I want you women to tie my shoelaces" and stuff like that. So just a bunch of ignorant stuff. And then obviously, with it being the 30th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt, a lot of Jay-Z. I just think that Jay is the greatest rapper of all time. Between him and Kanye, and hey man, I just a little different with that stuff, man. What about you, my brother?
Man, I been listening to a group called Black Tane. BLACKTANE. Hard rock, heavy metal stuff. Pretty good, man. They're interesting. So they helped me make dinner. What normally took an hour, I made it in about 18 minutes. Got the blood pumping, got me running all over the place. So it'll do the trick. But I'm liking on them. So that's what I was jamming most of today.
If it's up to my little grandson, he had me playing that "Rocky Like a Hurricane" song. He loves that song. Wonder
Nice.
why, right?
Hey, go Canes.
Man, it's a great time, man. We're in the midst of NBA free agency. You got hockey free agency coming, and then you have the trade deadline. So it's kind of an exciting time. And you still got some of these stragglers out here for the NFL. So for your out-of-season time, it's a great time to be a sports fan. You come right here. We're going to give you Cream City Curveball. We're going to give it to you as much as possible. I know I'm going to be out of action for the first of the 6th, but Pipe will probably put some stuff out. Maybe Pipe will bring on a special guest or two, and we'll see what happens. But we just appreciate you rocking with us, man. We love each and every one of you. We love the Milwaukee Brewers. We love baseball. Again, for the sensitive guys that leave Milwaukee, if we say something that is not the most flattering, it is not from hate, it's from love, and it's all constructive criticism. And even if we say that you suck, we want you to prove us wrong, and we would love to be wrong.
Absolutely. We would cheer for each and every member of the Brewers, no matter if they're terrible like Joey Ortiz or if they're an actual real baseball player like Bryce Terang and Miz and some of those guys. But, especially, Ortiz, Perkins, prove us wrong. Come on, guys. You can do it. You ain't proved it yet, but, hey, we're still holding out hope.
Hey, Perkins got a hit in that bottom of that tip, though.
Hey, that and $2 will get you a cup of coffee.
You got to give Perkins a little break. And I promise that wasn't to set up the bag on Joey Ortiz either, Lord.
He still sucks. Even though he's been playing better. But he's still terrible.
Yeah, man. What else you got tonight before we get out of here? I catch this flight to Philly.
I ain't got nothing, man.
Behavior.
Have a safe trip. Enjoy. I hate that city, but have a safe trip out there. And, I'm about to go watch this game. Brewers Reds, game 1 of 4. Let's go, crew.
Well, we appreciate all of you sitting with us right before you get to the game. Maybe you'll listen to this after the game. Maybe you say, hey, those guys were right on some stuff. Maybe you'll say, man, those guys are idiots. Whatever you say, just make sure you watch. I'm going to steal a line from the guru, Trey Crosby. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the Cream City Curveball. I think that's an epic rant that he has, an epic phrase. And we want you to go ahead and do that for us. Like, subscribe, share. Everybody, get your grandmother in on it. Get your niece in on it. Get your godmom, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it may be. Me and Pipe got, we'll just give you the best we got. That's all we can give you. Are we going to mess up? Sure, but we appreciate you listening. And you know, whether you're listening live, whether you're listening later, whether you're listening in the shower with Pipe Bomb, whether you go to bed with Pipe Bomb, we tremendously appreciate each and every one of you. This has been another episode of Cream City Curveball. I'm your man, Justin from North Carolina.
And Pipe Bomb here in Milwaukee. When you're sitting there and commenting on stuff, tell all the fat bitches in your life to leave a comment and tell Justin that real men don't wear pink. You can make fun of his shirt. He don't believe me, but, you know, maybe one of these days he'll learn.
Yeah, we still waiting. We about 4 decades into waiting for me to learn something, but we gonna get there one day, bro.
Yeah, one of these days.
We really appreciate you listening. No, this has been another Cream City Media Group production. Go Brewers!